I wasn't planning on making a video, but I'm doing one anyway because I think this is the most important video I'm ever going to make on this YouTube channel. Right now, we are in the second week of January, and if you haven't been following the news, we are in a situation in Bitcoin where we are waiting for the approval of US spot Bitcoin ETFs. And there is a very high chance that the ETFs will be approved this week. And it's a huge game changer for the Bitcoin space and anyone involved in Bitcoin, because this is the first time we're going to see a massive demand increase in purchasing of Bitcoin. If you think about it, it makes sense, right? Because now that these Bitcoin ETFs are probably going to be approved this week, they're going to be listed on all of these US asset managers sites, and anyone, whether it doesn't matter how old you are, if you have a significant net worth, you can now allocate any percent of your portfolio to these Bitcoin ETFs in a single click of a button. And that's a big deal. This is like, I want to call it Bitcoin's IPO moment, because I mean, this is, so many people who don't want to take the time to actually study Bitcoin and to store it and secure it themselves are going to be able to get exposure to Bitcoin just through this ETF. And that changes the adoption window. I mean, that throws adoption out of the window. And this is a really big deal. Now, if you've been ignoring Bitcoin, and, I've been talking about Bitcoin with my friends because I can't shut up about it. I can't help myself because I think this is probably the most valuable asset that has ever existed in humanity's history. And people are still ignoring it and they think it's still this fad. And Bitcoin's not. Bitcoin is, people are the richest people in the world, the big corporations, institutions, and even governments are talking about Bitcoin now. And the opportunity for smart money to come into Bitcoin, it's closing, especially if these ETFs get approved in a few days. That window is closing. And, I want to keep making more YouTube videos to talk about it, but I feel like I'm running out of time too. And, I need to make this video because I think it's people need to know about this. People need to know about the ETFs and if you have been interested in Bitcoin and you don't have an allocation yet, you need to study Bitcoin as soon as possible. Like, go online, learn more about Bitcoin, learn about why it was created, and learn how to buy and store Bitcoin yourself. Because this is an asset where there is a limited supply. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. And just to remind you, the estimated number of millionaires in the world in US dollar terms is around 56 million, but there's only 21 million Bitcoins. So every millionaire is not going to be able to have one whole Bitcoin. And I don't even consider institutions, governments, corporations that are going to hold Bitcoin in their balance sheet probably in the next few years. So this is a super scarce asset that you need to have an allocation to. And yes, people are going to buy the ETF. And they're going to say that they're exposed and they're going to benefit from it. But, one thing I do want to remind people is that the Bitcoin spot ETF is not real Bitcoin. Real Bitcoin is Bitcoin that you buy on an exchange and you self-custody it yourself. And I talk about the 3 rules of Bitcoin on this channel: to study Bitcoin, save Bitcoin, secure Bitcoin. And buying a Bitcoin spot ETF it kind of ignores those steps. And I want people who are new to Bitcoin to learn how to hold and store Bitcoin themselves, because I think in the next few decades, it's going to be really rare for people to hold Bitcoin themselves, and they're going to be a different kind of class than other people, right? I mean, the way to think about it is this. We have our bank accounts, and you get paid, money gets deposited in your bank account. But, if you study and learn about banking, like, the money in your bank account is not yours. And that holds true for any bank, right? And Bitcoin creates this once in a generational lifetime to own that money yourself, and it can't be taken away by any bank, can't be taken away by government, can't be taken away by a corporation. And that window of opportunity is closing. And I think it's closing because of these spot ETFs. So to wrap up this video, I want you to study Bitcoin, save Bitcoin, and secure Bitcoin.